So Melissa and Jeff reached out to me. They own a restaurant in a small town in Arkansas. The place is historical, been there for over 70 years. They just took it over recently. I'm thinking maybe about a year ago, and then boom, COVID-19 hit and kind of kicking their ass like everybody else's. So now they're not clients of mine, but they watch my videos here on YouTube where I'm trying to help the folks in the restaurant business, and they reached out. So they're going to be on a kind of a what would Kamron do call today as I walk them through the immediate things I would do right now. And it really boils down to doing what you can with what you have. So let's get them on the phone and let's get started. Hello.
Hello.
Melissa?
Yeah, hey Cameron, this is Melissa and my husband Jeff.
You said Joe?
Jeff.
Jeff, gotcha.
Yes, Jeff and Melissa.
How you doing, Cameron?
Well, I'm doing good. Getting into the restaurant business seemed like a good idea at the time, right?
Sure. So did roasting marshmallows by the fire.
Yeah. Yeah, believe me, I can definitely feel your pain, because when I first got in it, even though I'd been a cook, one of my first jobs was a line cook at JB's Big Boy in Salt Lake. It's one thing working there and chasing waitresses. It's another thing, you know, when you got the keys in your hands and everything rides on your shoulders. So, yeah, I've looked at your website. We obviously know what's going on. We know what is causing the issue. There's probably going to be, most estimates say about half the independent restaurants in this country are probably not going to make it. That's, you know, using the term good and bad isn't really accurate, but what a lot of other restaurants closing means is that there's going to be a lot of free-range customers running around. But I get the feeling, looking at your restaurant, there's this certain sense of nostalgia and history with it that keeps your customers coming in, and they probably like that, you know, that local feel and the history. That's got to be accurate. I mean, the pictures I've seen.
Yeah,
okay.
It's just like, oh man, what was the one you just posted about marketing tips? I've heard this story before. You've talked about it on your I guess your podcast or on your YouTube channel out of Iowa. I can't remember, what is his name, Pete?
Oh, yeah, Pete. Yeah, he's adapted pretty good. And I was kind of hoping that some of what he and I talked about might apply. The one angle I liked with Pete, is how he said that he's gone after some of the, like somebody got a wedding canceled at a venue, right? Well, he's putting it out on Facebook. Do you need a place to hold an event that's been canceled on you? But I don't know if your place fits that or not. But let me go down the list. Got a couple questions. So we got, okay. I'm showing about 73 years in business. Now, why are you shut down for dining right now inside?
Well, I don't know. When it first kicked off here in Arkansas, I went ahead and laid everybody off. We had maybe one pig and maybe a half a chicken. You know, I'm using exactly when we played that video the other day. That's exactly the way I've been looking at it. And it's weird is I'm almost like, I can't remember his name, like he is, but I just shut down. The COVID thing shut us down, and we had already come out of a slow winter.
Okay, so well, here's the deal. So I'm going to move it along a little bit. So you shut down, you laid off some folks, because the directive there right now shows phase 2 that you can open up to about 60 some odd %. Is that still in effect?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but we have a small restaurant, and with the 6 feet rule, we can only get maybe 48 in.
Nah.
It's pushing it. It may not be 6 feet distance, so we can't. Even though they say we can have 66%, our restaurant won't hold it. It's too small.
You can get 48 people in there?
Maybe.
Is that with the 6 foot distancing?
Yes.
Okay, so why aren't you doing that?
Because we let all of our staff go, and it's just me and my husband running it.
Okay, so we got a chicken and egg thing going. So let's talk about money right now, because, again, as Pete said, you know, how committed are you here? You hate to let a place like this go. You've got some time and money invested in it. If you're not going to be able to fund the staff and fund a little bit to get people coming back in the door, this is all or nothing. This is, like General Patton said, even a half-assed plan executed violently right now is better than the perfect plan tomorrow. And so we need to execute here. Now, I agree, you don't want to bring people back and have crappy service. So let's circle back to that a little bit. Do you own the building or rent it?
We're renting.
Okay.
It's all in the family, and I'm sure I could probably work with it, but the rent's only like $1,500 a month.
Yeah. So to operate, well, it sounds to me like, so what I would do immediately if I were you is I'd bring 1 or 2 staffers on and start getting some dine-in going, then add some more. I mean, that's got to be, top of the list.
We did it last Friday. We opened up and we had a really great night.
We had everything in to-go boxes.
Everything, to-go boxes. We did bottled drinks, and we had 1 or 2. I mean, it took a while to get the meals out, and that's the thing, is just getting the meals out in a timely fashion. Well, somebody called in on us, and we got inspected, which we passed Tuesday.
But we still have a warning.
But we got a warning
Next
because
will be a fine.
They had to go by. Somebody called in on us on this.
Due to the COVID regulations. It wasn't anything else. It was COVID regulations.
Right. So like they said, what, somebody was too close or somebody wasn't wearing a mask or what?
Somebody came out of the kitchen and we're not wearing a mask. And when you come out of our kitchen, your customers are still 10 feet away before you even come in contact with that person.
Yeah.
But I came out of the kitchen, didn't have my mask on, and they called in on me.
Yeah. So this is a good point here. I know that's irritating, but we manage a lot of Yelp profiles for some of our clients, and one of the top things we're seeing right now is people freaking out, posting 1-star raging reviews on Yelp because an employee didn't have a mask on somewhere. You're going to have to enforce the mask rule. They're going to have to wear them, or you're going to get this, and it's going to scare more people off. I feel for you, but this is the reality, is if you don't do it, don't enforce it, you can expect more of this. We're seeing a lot of it right now with our clients. I mean, an employee, maybe they're getting off shift and clocking out, but if somebody looks back and sees them at the end there by the back door without a mask on, boom, it's off to Yelp.
Yep.
So jot it down, got to do it. And so
we got it.
Let's see. Now, hang on a second. So what we're going to go over right now, and I've looked at your stuff, Facebook, Yelp, your website. We're going to hit a few things, but the mentality that I used when I got in the restaurant business and I was about ready to throw the towel in is, I thought to myself one morning, if I had to get a new customer in here paying full price in 24 hours, what would I do? And if I didn't do it, somebody's going to stick a gun to my head and pull the trigger. That really clarifies your thinking. And so we're going to clarify our thinking right now. You're going to have to bring some staff on, maybe slowly ramp it up a little bit. You're going to need to enforce that mask thing because some people out there are just going to freak out. You're going to have the health department or the CDC or somebody in there, busting your chops again. Right, so those two things have to happen. Do you have an email list?
See, that's the thing. We just took this on, and no, sir.
Gotcha.
Now, I got a customer list off the Clover with some phone numbers and stuff, but yes, whenever he said that you don't have a customer list, you're behind the 8 ball.
Okay, so we have to obviously work with what we have, and execute with what's in the arsenal right now. So yeah, that's what I've told a lot of folks, and they call up, because we handle loyalty and data marketing for our clients. So our clients are actually, many of them are up, some as high as over 400% better sales now, and that's the whole thing of, we have a lot of the pizza space, so they were already configured for delivery and takeout, and they can execute on it well. Secondly, they had a list. We immediately pivoted and notified all their customers about hours and procedures and put their mind at ease about all the COVID stuff. And most of our clients are booming. Some are using our service to send emails out to their customers trying to hire new people. And so if we don't have a list, we don't have a list. But I'm going to tell you, you should put a loyalty program in place right now. And the reason being, and I don't know if your Clover thing has that, if it's built in, use it. And then that gives you the reciprocity to start building your list, because your customers, when you say, hey, well, you want to sign up for our email list? No. How about, would you like to join our loyalty program and get rewarded for doing what you're doing already? And people have a hard time saying no to that. So you should get a loyalty program in place immediately, start building that list. And then once you get that moving, we can transition back to, how to leverage that. But so let's look at website's fine. I see two things that I would change, and they're just teeny little things, really. So one of them, you've got on the top there, to place go orders, and you have the phone number. I'd get rid of the word to, and I just say place to go orders. And on where it says no dine-in, to go orders only, I would, if you're going to have a little dine-in right now, I'd say limited dine-in / to go. Okay. So
see, that's what me and our state representative were talking about the other night or other day, and she goes to my wife, "Oh, this is kind of like a speakeasy right now, so we can let whoever we want in." And it's really seemed like it's tuck off.
And that's kind of what we've been doing. So let's say I get calls probably every night as your dining room opens, your dining room opens, your dining room opens, and I'll say, well, let me tell you what I've got. Or I'll get someone just to walk in off the street. I've got 2 signs on the windows that says to go only, but I still have people that ignore those signs, and they come in and they say, is your dining room open? And I'll say, well, let me tell you what I've got. I can, it's just me running the show up here, and you can place your order. I'll give you your salad, your drinks. You can go sit down and everything. I'll bring it out to you in a to-go box, but there'll be no waitressing, and people are fine with that. It's just, I personally can't do it myself.
Oh, well, yeah.
And I just haven't advertised that.
Well,
I advertised some people. So I've even put a picture. I don't know if you saw. You said you're on my Facebook. I put a picture on my Facebook about. I put some tables outside, and that didn't even go over really well. They wanted to sit inside. They didn't want to sit outside because it's too close to the road and it's noisy.
Well, some people like
it. A few, not many. So now it's getting too cold, and I'm not even putting tables out there.
Yeah. I mean, that's just not going to be a long-term strategy.
No.
Doing the outside thing, we know that. So,
the whole issue with mine, Kamron, is that we took this on a year ago from my cousin, which was going to bulldoze the restaurant anyway, and used to be a line 2 hours long.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm telling you, Jeff. Though I don't want to talk about yesterday because that's in the rearview mirror. And what got you to March ain't going to get you to next March. So we want to focus on exactly what we can do right now to get things a pumping here. So let me looking at a couple of let's see. So we're going to start. I want to talk about your Facebook page. So I see that you're on here. You're posting occasionally. That's good. You're going to have to ramp this up and post every day because you actually have some good engagement and you've got a decent following. So back to do what you can with what you have. You've got Facebook, you've got some people, but you're going to want to, and posting doesn't have to be that difficult. We're off the call. I'll send you a link to a Facebook page and let's see, Facebook and Instagram. Are you on Instagram? I didn't check that.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
So I'll send you a link to 2 pages that are done very well, and you'll get some ideas on how to easily post. There's 2 ways to do it. You want to humanize your restaurant because you do have that close connection with the community there. So I'm seeing, I'm looking at a video here. It's the one at the top of the feed, closed till further notice. And even though that's not you, if I came to your Facebook page and I see a sign there that says closed till further notice, I click away. Oh, that's too bad. I see a sign, or I see a picture with an empty table outside. Now I see a picture that I like. It's got people in it. They're eating. You need to get back a sense of normalcy here as quick as you can. That's a good photo. People inside eating. And we're not going to be mentioning COVID anymore. We're done talking about it. And you want good food shots. But again, the link I send you to will just give you really good ideas on how simple it is. You want to hire a couple of employees back. You want to make an announcement about that. thanks to the support of our local community, we've been able to hire back 3 of our servers, Jim, John, and Tammy, and they'd love to see you this weekend. There is limited seating, so, maybe call ahead to make sure that we've got some space, and if not, we'd be happy to take care of you with a go order.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm seeing pictures I see a lot of text, and a couple of pictures every now and then. You got a couple food shots down here, but I want more food shots. I want more people shots, less text stuff, and bring some employees back, take pictures, post it. They'll share it with their friends, and on and on and on. But yeah, you've got over 3,000 followers, so you got something to work with here. So that's it with Facebook. Let's move on to, okay, so Yelp. Now, and earlier we talked about how somebody ratted you out for somebody not wearing a mask for 5 seconds.
Right.
Okay, so Yelp. I don't know too many restaurant owners really like Yelp, but it is what it is. And
yeah, I've heard the same thing.
Yeah, so you got to reply to everything. You got to reply to the haters, you got to reply to the ragers, you got to reply to the people that post something positive, because what's happening here, you're losing a feedback loop. A lot of people post, whether it's Facebook, Yelp, doesn't matter, they post, and then they're back there every 10 seconds seeing if you've been, replied to. It's this social confirmation. Hey, look, somebody replied to my post. That's what Facebook's all about, is this constant, I said something, who liked it, who thumbs up, who did this, who, so the people that say nice things, thank them so much, acknowledge that, and the people that give you a bad review and say, and what I notice there is it seemed to be salads. I don't know if you're having an issue with that, but I always tell people, look at the Yelp stuff, and if there's a pattern there, don't look at them, look at the pattern. And so if there's an issue with salads, whatever they're saying, I think you need to look at that. Who is on, who made that salad? Is it the same person every time? So figure that out and get it fixed. And tell them, thank you so much. We love to get the feedback from you. We're so sorry about this. And I'll tell you, I would always invite now don't be offering free meals in the public chat area, or you invite more bad reviews, because people see you're giving out free meals when people complain. So they complain, so they can get a free meal. So in Yelp, you can take that offline and do it privately. Just say, hey, I don't want to lose you over this. I appreciate the critique on the salad. Please come back, give us a second chance on this, and give us another shot, and we will not let you down. And we really appreciate you letting us know. Often you'll see that will turn these into, they'll go in and redo the review and say, hey, the owner got a hold of me, and I was a little hot at the time, and they'll raise the review up, or they'll come back, try it again, and then update the review and say, hey, owner got a hold of me, I came back, and everything's good now. So you're missing a big opportunity. And Yelp is where people go when they're looking for restaurants. Now, your customers, your regular customers, not so much, but if you want to attract new customers, a lot of people are hunting right now. Who's open, who's not, what are people saying? So Yelp could be a good source of business for you. We've got restaurants that, I have a case study of 4 months and one at 10 months, but at 4 months, we can trace back about $5,000 in sales just from the people that come in from Yelp. We put them in a loyalty program, start remarketing to them, and keep them coming back. I've got another restaurant that at 10 months, they were up $45,000, and this is all tracked to people that came through Yelp.
Yes.
You've got 4 stars, that's good. If you, I don't think I'd consider Yelp ads for you. I think you just need to get in there and respond. Let them know somebody's home and that you care. So you got to do that. Let's see. Oh, now, so food pictures. Comfort food and desserts are going to be good topics. And I want you to start a loyalty program now. Look in your Clover thing, see what's available to you. What about gift cards? Do you sell gift cards?
Yes.
Excellent. Do you get any local business people? Do you get any local business people coming in at all for lunch?
No, we're not open at lunch.
Okay, so this is evening only. Okay, so I want you to test this. I know it's going to work. It's just how much you want to do. I'd like you to load up some $5 gift cards and post on Facebook that the first, I don't know how many tables you can fill immediately, but the first X amount of people, every table gets a $5 gift card. So every party that comes in, $5 gift card. And I would put that on Facebook, but it'd be until a certain time. Like, what time do you open?
5 o'clock.
Okay, so 5 o'clock.
We've limited our hours.
Okay, so whatever time you open, you're going to have your gift cards, and you're going to post on Facebook. We appreciate your support in the community. We're starting to bounce back here, and dining is reopening, and the first 5 parties in tonight are getting a $5 gift card, or you could make it the next night. And you know what? I'd even still hand out a few more if a few people showed up a little bit later. But now they've got a gift card. It's $5. It's cost you nothing at this point. It's only, what's your average ticket?
$42.
Okay. It's only going to cost you $5, and not even that, I'll explain in a minute. It's going to cost you $5 when they come back and spend $42. And it's just the food cost. So $5, what's your food cost? 30%. So you're really looking at about $1.75, $2 in hard cost. But this is an incentive. Get them in, make them feel good. That gift card makes sure that they come back again. So that's another thing you're going to want to do. Let's see. You could also offer right now $50 gift cards for $35 or $40, and I would make this a 3 to 5 day sale to drive some action. These are different ideas. I wouldn't do them all at the same time, but incentivize. These people want to come back. They need guidance. They need direction, and you need to give it to them. Let's see. Honesty. Hey, it's been tough. 73 years. This restaurant's never experienced anything like this, and we're committed to keeping this local landmark open, and we really appreciate your help. We're starting to bring our crew back, and as a way of saying thank you, the first 5 parties in tonight at 5 o'clock whenever you open, $5 gift card. We're humanizing the business. I need pictures of you guys at the business, pictures of your employees at the business, pictures of you guys with customers, pictures of customers, those kind of things on Facebook, because Facebook's your biggest thing right now, your biggest opportunity that you have. Are you offering meal kits at all? I don't know if this is really right for everybody.
That's what I've been looking for. No, right now we're not, but I'm trying to figure something out.
Okay, because I don't know what kind of grocery stores you got around your area, but what you're going to find is more and more of these stores are doing the meal kits and ready-made meals. So that's something that you can offer too, and maybe you're closer than some of these stores, so I would definitely be offering those to your, and I don't want to say definitely. I don't know your menu. You've got to pick what travels well, what can get home okay, or something that they can put together and just heat up. What do you have that they could just throw in the microwave or heat something up real quick on a stovetop? Nobody wants to get home from work and make spaghetti sauce or Alfredo, so if you have these kits all built up, or not built, but you're ready to go, and I would pre-prep some of this stuff. If you're going to offer some meal kits, this is a lesson I learned the hard way, man. When I first bought my place, he said every time an order for garlic bread came in, we ran back to the walk-in, grabbed a small loaf of focaccia, brought it out, cut it in half, slathered garlic butter all over it, and ran it through the oven. Oh my God. Kim one day says, why don't we just prep a bunch of these and put them on the line? Duh. And that got me to really thinking how to organize our line to make things a lot faster. Maybe something you want to look at. I don't know how your kitchen's laid out, but what we found on the pizza line is that by default, most pizzerias put their cheeses, then their meats, and then all their vegetables, or the other way around, meats at the end. But I mean, they put it in a compartment like that, and I started looking at how our pizzas were built, and I realized that some of the cheeses need to be at the end of the other end of the make line because they went on last. Some of the meats would go on first, or they would go on last. So we moved things around so that nobody ever had to move their hand to the right. They just walked to the left, built the pizza, put it in the oven, done. And So if you're going to do meal kits, I would be ready to prep and, have those ready to go. I wouldn't get too crazy, though. You specify the meal kit. It's the comfort foods that people are going to want to whip up that they can take home and easily make. And let's see. So we've covered damn near, I don't know, half a dozen or more things for you to do. You've got to do gift cards. You've got to get a loyalty program in place. You've got to start posting more on Facebook and Instagram. You've got to bring your crew back. Not all, you're going to start ramping them up, but you've got to bring them back and start announcing that and letting your customers know, and you'd love to see them again. I know your community is going to support you. You need to lead them. They're not sitting there waiting, to jump up and figure out if you're open or not or what you're doing. You've got to tell them, and nobody is going to come and save you. This puppy is a 100% your responsibility. Keys are in your hand, and all I can say is I know you'd love to just say, hey, is there a button we can push? And there's not. And it's going to take hard work, more work than your other competitors are willing to put in. You were doing good before. I think you're going to do good again. Some restaurants that were doing good before will never come back. They're in the wrong part of town. If they depended on an office park that now has 30% of their workforce working from home or half of it, they're out of business. If they don't adapt, they're going to die. This is a Darwinistic event, and I'm very hopeful for you. You've got that cute little building. It's got a lot of history to it. You've taken it some lumps here like everybody else, but we've got a lot of free-range customers out there. And how many restaurants in your town are affected right now, would you say?
Two. Probably. Well, they're all affected, but it just depends on how they want to.
5, 10, 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
So you've got, you probably got half of all the customers. You probably all share customers, but people that were going to those restaurants more than your restaurant are also now out in the cold. There's these free-range customers wandering around that need guidance. They need to know where to go. They need to have a safe experience. And people are creatures of habit. This habit has been disrupted, and you need to create the new habit for them of coming to your place. And you're going to do that by attracting them on Facebook, humanizing the restaurant. This is Melissa and Jeff, and we're bringing we brought Jimmy back today, Tammy back today, and if the weekend goes great, Sally and Bob are going to be rehired next week. And as a way to say thank you so much for supporting us, the first 5 or 10 parties that show up tomorrow night, we're handing out $5 gift cards to everybody. And the other thing I want you to think about too is trade. What services are you currently paying cash for that you might be able to trade meals? So I want you to look at that. I don't know if it's anything, but I love trade. I traded for airline tickets with Southwest Airlines. I traded for auto repair. I traded for a stereo in my car. I traded for the bug sprayer. I traded for the window washer. Things you're paying cash for, what can you trade?
Okay.
So, you got to do what others are not doing, and you are going to start booming again. To the degree the county or state will let you, I think you can start filling that place up. And so, get your crew back, gradually ramp it up, because you do not want bad service. You got to start dealing with your Yelp folks. That's one thing I forgot to mention a minute ago when we went through the list of things to do. But that's it. There's no magic. This is got to outmarket the other people. Everybody's shell-shocked. I feel for you, too. I wouldn't, oh my God. I would have been okay had this happened to us because we did delivery and takeout and only had a few tables. It wasn't, dine-in was nothing for us. But I'll tell you, a lot of the large companies out there, like the Outback Steakhouses and those kind of places, the only reason they're going to survive is because these are public companies that have venture capital, and the investors are not going to let them go broke. And they know that after this thing ends, that with all the small restaurants that fail, that the big chains are going to bounce back pretty strong. So you don't need to be afraid of that. All you need to do is say, I need to get customers from some of my competitors into my restaurant more often, and they're available, and they just want leadership right now. That's what I got for you. Do what you can with what you have, and humanize this restaurant with faces and people and food and customers on your Facebook page. Get in there and start answering all those reviews on Yelp, even if they're 2 or 3 years old. Go in there and respond. And always do it politely. Don't ever let these people get your hackles up. And if somebody does come back to you, snitty, stop the conversation. That will speak for itself. Others will look at that and say, that guy's a dick. So leave it at that. I've seen restaurant owners get in pissing contests with customers on Yelp. It doesn't help you. It makes you look as small as them. So go in there, tell them, hey, sorry about the salad. I'm gonna make you a good one next time. It's on me, and I'll give you a $5 gift card as well. But don't do that publicly on Yelp.
Shoot, Jeff. Yep. That makes me smile. How about freshen up the restaurant on the inside?
No.
Painting or something.
Well, I mean, I don't know what it looks like, but a lot of those places that have some nice character, I say leave it alone a little bit. I remember I had a client in San Francisco. They had a pizzeria. They had a robbery one time where a guy shot a bullet through the front counter and the bullet hole was still there. Now, this pizzeria, it was doing an insane amount of volume. And the owner asked me, what do you think? Should I cover up the bullet hole? I said, no. I mean, it's probably part of the character. Some people like that character. I've got a restaurant. I was born in San Diego. When I was 5 years old, I used to ride my little wagon down the street to this restaurant called El Indio, and they've been in business for over 80 years. They're, kind of like you guys, been around forever, institution. And if they ever tried to pimp that place out and pretty it up, they'd lose their customers. There's a certain quaintness and again, I haven't seen the inside of your place. Hey, if it's dilapidated, yeah, I'd tune it up a little bit, but don't fresh it up too much. I saw another Mexican restaurant go out of business because the place they were at had a lot of character. The real estate got bought up, and they moved them into a nice new big office complex commercial site. They were out of business 2 years later. It didn't have the same character that the town had grown up with for years or for decades. That's the last thing I think about right now if the place is okay. And also the smell of paint and varnish and new carpet and stuff like that. Yeah, it could be a little annoying. If you were painting, I'd find a low vapor something, get a crew in there, somebody get that done fast the second you close, and keep the doors open and air that place out. So Melissa and Jeff, that's what I got for you. And I appreciate if you would check in sometime. I'll email you. I'm going to email you a Facebook and Instagram link. I want you to go look at that because just see what they're doing, do what they're doing. I'll send you a link too to a, it's called Canva, C-A-N-V-A.
Yes. Yep.
You know that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, you go there and easy to make your stuff, put your own pictures in, use some of their pre-done artwork, just retype it and you're good to go. So there you go, guys. I want you to email me here in a month or so and let me know what's going on. And if that building's owned by a relative, I'd say, hey, we're family. Can you help me out a little bit? Because even at $1,500,
it's hard.
Can they take $1,200 for a few months? Can they, can you do trade with some of that? Feed them, feed their friends, but convert food cost into full price cash. It's like printing money.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, yeah. That's exactly the way I was looking at it. Well, Kamron, I'm pumped.
Excellent. Go get them. Now, don't get unpumped, man. Violently executed right now is better than the perfect thing tomorrow.
There you go.
All right, folks. Good talking to you, and I want to hear from you soon.
Okay. Thank
All right.
you very much.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All righty. So as you can see with Jeff and Melissa, almost a bit of a brain freeze going on. They had this business that was doing fine. All of a sudden, the freight train mowed it down, and what do we do now? So, again, more of a coaching call, and I hope you found something helpful in this for you as well that may benefit you in your restaurant. As usual, I really appreciate you watching this video. It means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed it, I would really love a thumbs up down there. And if you're not already subscribed, do that now. That way you're going to be the first to know when I've got some new content popped up here to help you out. And I look forward to seeing you next time.